Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 19th of April. No Pakistani soldier or civilian died in Balakot air strike, says Indian Foreign Minister. Doha talks on Afghan peace postponed. And Christians in India observe Good Friday. And now for all the details. India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj said on Thursday that no Pakistani soldier or civilian died in the airstrike on a terror camp in Pakistan on February 26th. She said the strike by the Indian Air Force only targeted terrorists and was conducted in self-defense. It came in response to the February 14th suicide bombing in India's Jammu and Kashmir, which killed at least 40 Indian security personnel.
India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj said on Thursday that no Pakistani soldier or civilian died in the airstrike on a terror camp at Balakot in Pakistan in February. Addressing a meeting of ruling Bharatiya Janata Party's women workers in Western Ahmedabad city, Swaraj said Indian military was given a free hand in the operation but was clearly told that no Pakistani civilian should be killed and also there should be not even a scratch on the Pakistani army. She said the airstrike was carried out in a self-defense and the whole international community supported India over the airstrike.
जब ये कथन हमने इंटरनेशनल उस पर दिया तो एक व्यक्ति ने कहा हम आपके साथ हैं और पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ हैं.
The Indian Air Force had struck a Jaish-e-Mohammed or JEM terror training camp in Pakistan on February 26th. It came after the Pakistan-based terror group claimed the February 14th suicide bomb attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir, which killed at least 40 Indian security personnel. India said it had incontrovertibly evidence of Pakistani involvement in the Kashmir attack.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan on Thursday reshuffled his cabinet, appointing Abdul Hafiz Sheikh as the advisor on finance and to head the finance ministry. The reshuffle comes at a time when inflation has reached its highest in more than 5 years in Pakistan.
Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan made a sweeping cabinet reshuffle on Thursday after only 7 months in power and appointed Abdul Hafiz Sheikh as advisor on finance to head the finance ministry amid worsening economic turmoil in the country. Imran Khan's government inherited a wobbly economy, but the former cricketer has come under intense criticism for failing to fulfill his promises that he would steady the ship and bring prosperity to Pakistan. Khan late on Thursday announced 10 ministerial appointments in a shake-up that included the departure of Finance Minister Asad Umar, who has been a close ally to Khan for many years. As the Finance Minister of Pakistan, Umar had been negotiating with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout. Umar said as part of a cabinet reshuffle, Prime Minister Khan desired that he take the Energy Minister portfolio, but he obtained his consent to not take any cabinet position. Cash-strapped Pakistan is seeking $8 billion from the IMF to bail itself out from a severe balance of payments crisis. Pakistan has so far received a total of $9.1 billion in financial aid packages from countries like China and Saudi Arabia during the current fiscal year.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan delegation's trip to Doha for peace talks with the Taliban was postponed indefinitely on Thursday. The trip was delayed reportedly for issues around the 250-member team's formation.
The Afghan delegation's trip to Qatar for talks with the Taliban was delayed for issues around the 250-member team's formation, confirmed the presidential palace in a statement on Thursday. The delegation was expected to leave Kabul for Doha on Thursday. This came a day after President Ashraf Ghani met with the members of the delegation who were to hold the meeting with the Taliban in Qatar on April 20th. Ghani said the delegation is carrying an important mission, which is a dignified peace within the framework of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. He stated that to achieve dignified and sustainable peace in the country, there is a need for unity, solidarity and consensus among the people of Afghanistan. He said there is no Afghan from any layer of the society who've been left unharmed from the 40 years of the war imposed on the Afghans. The list of the delegation was announced by the government on April 15th. It had been criticized by some parties for not being inclusive.
More on news from Afghanistan. Rangeen Dadfar Spanta, former Afghan National Security Advisor, on Thursday said that Afghanistan needs to engage in peace talks and political dialogue with the Taliban from a united position. He suggested only an inclusive and limited team of experts should be involved in the peace negotiations.
Afghanistan's former National Security Advisor Rangeen Dadfar Spanta on Thursday said that Afghanistan needs to engage in peace talks and political dialogue with the Taliban from a united position. Spanta, who was the National Security Advisor during President Hamid Karzai's tenure, suggested that the peace talks with the Taliban should involve only an inclusive and limited team of experts and negotiators familiar with the process and not a huge delegation.
زیاد از پیش با قضایا منفی برخورد نکنیم. یک هیئت کوچکتر، مؤثر و متخصصتر هم به دوحا بفرستیم و هم در گفتگوهای اصلی صلح که به احتمال زیاد در سمرقند آغاز خواهد شد، در اونجا باید یک هیئت کوچک متخصص و وارد به قضایا و نمایندگی از دولت جمهوری اسلامی افغانستان.
This comes after Afghan President Ashraf Ghani said on Wednesday that the Taliban should realize the fact that the group has no way except to engage in talks with the Afghan government. He also emphasized that to achieve a dignified and sustainable peace in the country, there is a need for unity, solidarity and consensus among the people of Afghanistan.
Scores of devotees on Thursday gathered in the temple town of Madurai in southern India to celebrate a chariot festival marking the arrival of Lord Sundareshwarar and Goddess Meenakshi. The chariot festival is celebrated a day after a symbolic wedding ceremony of the deities is performed at the temple.
Thousands of devotees on Thursday gathered in the temple town of Madurai in southern India to celebrate a chariot festival which marks the arrival of Lord Sundareshwarar and Goddess Meenakshi in the city. The devotees were seen playing traditional musical instruments, blowing conch shells, dancing and praying during the procession. Although the festival coincided with the voting day in the province, huge crowds from the neighbouring town showed up at the festival along with the locals.
எல்லாரும் இங்க வருவாங்க. ஓட் போடுறதை விட எங்களுக்கு இது ரொம்பவே முக்கியமா இருக்கு. சோ எல்லாரும் ஹாப்பியா இருக்கதா இங்க வந்திருக்கோம்.
The chariot festival is celebrated a day after a symbolic wedding ceremony of the deities is performed at the temple. According to belief, Lord Sundareshwarar and Goddess Meenakshi, the king and queen of Pandya kingdom, come to see their subjects on decorated chariots.
Hindus across northern India offered special prayers to mark the birth anniversary of monkey god Lord Hanuman on Friday. Hanuman is a symbol of vitality and strength and is also believed to help devotees get rid of evil influences.
Devout Hindus in parts of northern India on Friday thronged temples to offer prayers on the occasion of Hanuman Jayanti, the birth anniversary of Hindu monkey god Lord Hanuman. Devotees in Indian capital New Delhi marked the festival by offering flowers and sweets at temples. Hanuman is a symbol of vitality and strength. He is also believed to help devotees get rid of evil influences.
यहाँ आने से बहुत कुछ आत्मा शांति मिलती है और आज उनके शुभ दिन आने पर जो आए यहाँ बहुत कुछ धन्य हो जाएगा.
Similar scenes were witnessed in northern Prayagraj city, where scores of devotees visited nearest temples on the occasion and offered special prayers and recited Hanuman Chalisa or devotional hymn in praise of Lord Hanuman. In Hindu epic Ramayana, Hanuman helped his master Lord Rama to annihilate the kingdom of Sri Lanka, headed by Ravana, who had kidnapped his wife Sita and enabled her rescue.
तो आज सभी लोग पूजा अर्चना करें, कोई मनोकामना है तो पूरी होगी उनकी। अब आज के दिन तो हर मंदिर, जहाँ भी जगह हर मंदिर मिले, आप दर्शन करें हनुमान जी का, और हर जगह हनुमान जी मंदिर है, तो आज मंदिर का दर्शन करना चाहिए, विशेषकर हनुमान जी की पूजा अर्चना करनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, a colorful procession was taken out in northern Varanasi city, where devotees gathered in huge numbers to celebrate the occasion. The festival is celebrated every year on the occasion of Chaitra Purnima, observed on the full moon day in the month of Chaitra as per Hindu almanac, that usually falls in late March or early April.
Christians across India observed Good Friday by offering prayers at churches and taking part in special processions to mark the occasion. Good Friday, also called Holy Friday or Black Friday, is a religious event observed primarily by Christians commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
Christians across India marked Good Friday on April 19th by offering prayers at churches and remembering the life of Jesus Christ. According to Christian theology, Good Friday, also called Holy Friday, Great Friday or Black Friday, is a religious event observed primarily by Christians commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at Golgotha Hill. For Christians all over the world, Good Friday commemorates the act that brought salvation to all who believe in Jesus Christ.
Jesus was crucified on this day, so on this day we mourn and we fast. People go to different churches, and today there will be different language masses in all different churches.
In India's southern Vijayawada city, worshippers thronged churches early in the morning to participate in special prayer services and later took out a procession to mark the occasion.
Christ has died, Christ is risen, Christ will come again. This is the mystery of Christ coming into the world. He came to die for all the mankind because every human person is born with sin.
Good Friday is the culmination of the Lent for the Roman Catholics as well as the Holy Week, which is observed on Palm Sunday. It takes place 2 days before the Easter Sunday that will be celebrated this year on April 21st throughout the world.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. No Pakistani soldier or civilian died in Balakot airstrike, says Indian Foreign Minister. Doha talks on Afghan peace postponed. And Christians in India observe Good Friday. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.